This is going to be part 2 of the Canadian culture videos. I apologize for the graininess in this video. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but we'll work with it. Okay, so let's begin. Canadian culture part 2. So hopefully you were able to watch part 1 that contained some more serious topics. This one's a little bit lighter. So we'll begin with food. There are not many foods that are considered to be of Canadian origin. Most foods were brought to Canada by the immigrants who make up this country. Some foods that are common here include pizza, pasta, beef, pork, chicken, hamburgers, ham, fish in some provinces, bread, and a variety of vegetables and fruits. Potatoes are a staple here. They are eaten more frequently than rice in our culture. Some foods that originated in Canada are as follows. Poutine. This is known to be a Canadian food. It is French fries topped usually with gravy and cheese curds. Some places have gotten a little bit more creative now and added tomatoes, olives, and a variety of other toppings. Bagels, or sometimes called Montreal-style bagels. Saskatoon berry pie and other desserts. So they are small purple berries that grow in Saskatchewan. They look almost like wild blueberries, but they do have a different taste. Nanaimo bars. So this is a bar cake, mostly chocolate with a custard icing filling that many people here enjoy. Butter tarts, and a variety of sweets made with maple syrup, because of course, Canada produces large amounts of maple syrup. Okay, what sports are considered popular in Canada? So first, ice hockey. Canada is known for ice hockey. Many little boys grow up playing hockey. It is a sport watched by many on TV. There are a couple professional hockey teams. Next is lacrosse, which is a very old sport. Soccer, which is known in some countries as football. It is known here as soccer. We do not have any what we would call professional soccer teams, but it is played by many as a recreational sport. Baseball, again, we do have a couple of professional Canadian teams. Tennis, football. So what other countries may call football is actually our soccer. And football here is the game involving throwing the ball. In Saskatchewan, we have the Saskatchewan Roughriders as our professional Canadian team. Basketball, curling, which you may or may not have seen before. It is played on a sheet of ice, heavy, flat rocks or push down the ice, and we hope to get them closest to the center of a series of rings. And golf. We have a lot of wide open spaces that are perfect for golf courses in Canada. So golf is a popular sport here. Okay, let's move on to the topic of multiculturalism in Canada. Many cultures make Canada the country that it is. Immigrants are encouraged to keep their traditions, languages, dress, foods, etc., as long as they don't go against Canadian law. So, for example, the practice of polygamy, or allowing men to take more than one wife, is not accepted here because it is against the law in Canada. So that is one example of a cultural practice often tied to religious beliefs that's acceptable in some countries. However, it is not allowed to be brought into Canada as it goes against Canadian law. Many festivals are held in Canada to celebrate the many cultures that are present here. So, especially in larger cities, you will find events that are held with traditional dance, traditional food, music, where the public is invited to join in the celebrations. All people from all cultures have equal rights in Canada. So, as you know, our laws apply to all people equally. Canada is called a melting pot. This means that many cultures live together and exist happily and uniquely in one peaceful and diverse country. Okay, greetings in Canada. Most people greet each other by simply saying, "Hi, how are you?" When meeting someone for the first time, or when greeting each other in formal situations, people often shake hands. Sometimes people shake hands in informal situations as well. It is also completely normal for men and women to shake hands with each other. As noted in one of my previous videos, shaking hands is simply a greeting. It might be a way to say hello or welcome. It is not considered any kind of romantic gesture. So shaking hands can be done men and men, men and women. It doesn't matter. It's simply a greeting. It is not common for Canadians to kiss each other when they meet. We are a low contact culture. So it's often said Canadians are very friendly, welcoming, inviting, but we don't touch each other a lot. Sometimes we like our personal space. And sometimes Canadians hug each other when meeting, but this is most common among family members or friends who haven't seen each other for a while. So you may hug your grandma, your parents, of course, your children, but we don't typically hug or kiss cheeks of people when we meet with them or see them on the street or enter their homes. We are often very affectionate with our children and our boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse, but not so much with others. So again, we hug and kiss our children and our partners often, but friends, neighbors, people we are meeting for the first time, we don't tend to show a lot of affection. Okay, and gender relations, meaning the ways in which men and women, boys and girls act together. Males and females are not separated in Canada. We grow up interacting with each other in all situations. Except for a few private schools, boys and girls go to school together. We generally interact with members of the opposite sex in much the same ways we do with people of our same sex. We shake hands, maintain eye contact, work cooperatively on volunteer and work projects, discuss important topics, play sports together in some cases, and on and on. So these two are just friends, but it's very normal for them to get a cup of coffee, to discuss a work project, or just to visit with each other in general. Male and female friendships are not considered bad, and most of us grow up being comfortable around people of the opposite sex. It's also considered normal to compliment people of the opposite sex in the same way we do people of our same sex. For example, it would be perfectly acceptable for me to tell a man that I like his shoes or that I appreciate his hard work on a project. Males and females attend parties, dinners, events, and so on together, and they are not required to separate in these situations. So sometimes the women like to gather in the kitchen and chat a little bit, but generally they're going to come back together to eat, maybe to discuss some things, to share stories. They are not required to eat in different rooms or to remain separate. So most of the time, men and women attend events together and mingle and visit with each other. Okay, now that it is common for women to work outside the home, men and women share the responsibilities of cleaning, cooking, and childcare. So in the past, much of this was considered women's work. Women were at home anyway, and so they were expected to do these things. However, now that many women are also in professional jobs or working outside the home, it only makes sense that when the couple gets home from work, they split the responsibilities of the cleaning, cooking, and caring for their children. Most Canadian women want a partner who sees them as an equal and does not try to exert control or dominance in the relationship. So in the past, there tended to be a different dynamic. Many years ago, men felt they were the leader of the family. They made the decisions, they controlled the money. However, that attitude has slowly disappeared, and men and women are considered equal partners in their relationship who both contribute to keeping the family running smoothly. So let's just have a very quick look again. So again, with foods, Canada is made up mostly of immigrants. And so we don't have a lot of foods that are considered of Canadian origin. We like foods from other countries. There are a few that have originated here, such as poutines, desserts with Saskatoon berries, some sweets, and products using our maple syrup. There are a variety of sports that are considered common here. Hockey is extremely common. Lacrosse is one of our official sports, though it's not as popular as some of the others. Soccer is becoming more popular as more immigrants bring the game to us. Typically, it hasn't been one of our most played sports, but it seems to be becoming more common. Canadians love their football. Curling is a popular winter sport, and golf is quite common. Multiculturalism. So as we know, Canada is made up of people from around the world. So we are lucky in that we can experience a variety of languages. We can see different kinds of dress. We can taste different kinds of foods and all kinds of things that people bring with them from their home countries. Canada encourages people to hold on to these traditions and practices, provided they do not go against Canadian law. All people have equal rights. When we greet people, we generally just say, "Hi, how are you?" We may shake hands. It's not considered normal for us to kiss cheeks. Once in a while we hug, but again, not often. We are rather low contact, or we like to have some personal space. But we are affectionate with our own family members. Gender relations, or the way in which men and women interact with one another. We are not separated. We do not grow up separated. We are taught to treat each other equally with respect, but neither is more dominant. We are certainly not taught to look at the ground when speaking to someone of the opposite gender. Males and females can be friends. They work together. They attend parties, events, sports. Everything can be done together. And responsibilities are now shared by both men and women, because women are often working outside the home and therefore cannot also manage all of the responsibilities of cleaning, cooking, and childcare. So most men in Canada are very helpful in relation to cooking, cleaning, and helping with their children. Okay. I hope that gave you a little bit more information about some of the other aspects of Canadian culture. So hopefully, with part 1 that we discussed before, and now part 2, you have gained some important information about culture in Canada. Thank you for watching.